We all have a love-hate relationship with a game. League of Legends is definitely that kind of a game. We absolutely love it, but sometimes hate it to its core. Released in 2009 by Riot Games, League is one of the biggest multiplayer titles to this day. League of Legends has one of the most active and widespread competitive scenes with major events all across the world. There is no doubt that League has managed to become a game that will stay forever in gamers' hearts. Welcome to ZeroDeaths. Today we are taking a look at 15 things you didn't know about League of Legends. Make sure to stay subscribed so you don't miss out on our next video. Let's dive into it. Number 1. The origin of League. All MOBA games share their roots, and League didn't shy away from admitting this. Riot Games was founded in 2006 by Mark TRYNDAMERE Merrill and Brandon Riesbeck. The two college roommates quickly partnered with Steve Gwinsu Freak, a developer on the Warcraft 3 mod Dota All-Stars. The original Dota mod was inspired by another mod from StarCraft called Aeon of Strife. The three quickly started working on a standalone version of the previous mods and drew a lot of attention from the community. League of Legends was released into a closed beta state in April of 2009, and the rest is history. Number 2. The story reboot. In 2014, League was already a well-settled game in the esports scene. Honestly, the game was doing great, but something was a bit off. Back then, we were called summoners, and we were controlling those champions that had little to no story behind them. But this setting was kind of confusing for the lore, and the creative team was limited in terms of where they could take the story of the game. So Riot decided to scrap almost everything from the game related to the summoners. The story got rebooted and has continually been built upon since then. I'm still waiting to find out why TEEMO is so happy all the time. Maybe those shrooms? Number 3. The first champion. There are currently more than 100 champions released in League of Legends. But in the first version of the game, there were only 6 champions. There has been a lot of discussion around the internet over what the first champion was though. In a Reddit Ask Me Anything, a developer unveiled the fact that the first champion to be designed was Singed. It's funny because the name of this champion is an anagram for the word design. Let's just hope we don't see him spamming our comment section stating that he is in fact first. Number 4. War criminal TEEMO. You can't put out a list about League of Legends without mentioning TEEMO. But TEEMO, once a sweet yordle who vowed to uphold the Scouts Code, is actually a war criminal. For his Omega Squad TEEMO skin, Riot added a small detail regarding TEEMO's past. War didn't change me, I changed war. If you buy Runin's Hurricane, he says that there is no such thing as collateral damage. This makes things pretty clear. Some of his allies must have surely stepped into his mushrooms. Well, we assumed from the beginning that he was evil, but this definitely confirms it. Surprisingly, TEEMO is not the most hated champion anymore, but more on that later. Number 5. Where did the CIGAR go? After being bought by Tencent, Riot quickly began expanding to new regions. But this also meant that they were facing new types of problems. A cigar-smoking character could mean a change in your ESRB rating, and you could not market your game to younger audiences. So the CIGAR had to go. Graves didn't smoke for about 3 years, and it looked like he was going to rehab. The fans were mad, and the memes about how Graves gonna have a cigar were the new meta. After 3 years, Riot managed to find a way to have separate in-game assets for different regions, and Graves finally got his cigar back. Number 6. The face of League of Legends. Faker. If you ever dabbled into League of Legends esports, you must have surely heard of him. Everybody aspires to be good as Faker. His mechanical plays are one of the most amazing things to watch in esports. He has managed to win his first OGN title less than a year before starting his professional career. But the moment that put Faker in the hearts of League players across the globe is definitely his kill on Ryu. That play is to this day one of the most beautiful moments in League's history. Faker is the face of League of Legends esports. Number 7. Longest game. Jin Air vs SK Telecom T1. LCK 2018 Spring. 94 minutes and 40 seconds. Beating Faker's team is definitely a feat that you can brag about. But Jin Air has managed to do this while also breaking a few long-standing world records. The fight between Jin Air and SK Telecom T1 lasted 94 minutes and 37 seconds. This is the longest professional League of Legends professional match ever. To put things into perspective, a usual League match lasts about 30 minutes. Number 8. The biggest esports event in the world. The World Championship is the most important event in League's esports. Teams from across all regions are fighting for the World Champions title. The 2019 edition had 24 teams fighting over a prize pool of $2.2 million. The event took place in 3 different European countries, with its finals in Paris. The semifinals of the competition managed to score a peak viewership of 3.9 million viewers. To put things into perspective, the Fortnite finals managed to get to a 2.3 million peak viewership, placing second. The Worlds 2019 also managed to surpass 137 million hours of viewership, outperforming the Dota 2 International. These amazing numbers made the Worlds 2019 the biggest esports event in history. Number 9. League of Siblings. Having such a rich pool of characters, Riot managed to create all kinds of relationships between their cast. As a matter of fact, a lot of the champions that we love to play are related. One of the most famous pair of siblings is Garen and Lux. They were born in Demacia and fight side by side trying to protect their people. Another fun pair is Nasus and Renekton. They both served the Shurama's Emperor Azir when they had their human form. Kayle and Morgana are also related, but the relationship is not that good. Morgana is the fallen one and has been disowned by Kayle. Number 10. The better region. What is the best region? Well, internet warriors have been fighting over this for a very long time. In the history of League's esports scene, there has always been a fight for supremacy between the teams from the Asian regions and the rest of the world. But in the last few years, the EU has managed to get better places in almost all competitions over the NA teams. So at the moment, there is no doubt that the teams coming from the Asian regions are in fact better than the rest of the world. The EU vs NA rivalry has kind of come to an end in 2019, when the EU managed to have a team in the finals for the second year in a row. Number 11. The blue side wins more games. Have you ever wondered if a match can be decided by the side you get put on? The short answer is no. This question has plagued the Riot team as early as 2010. Apparently, for people in really high elo, studies have found that the blue side will win around 4 in every 7 games, whereas the red side will only win 3. Riot did try to fix this issue with multiple camera adjustments, but it's kind of difficult to prevent this. The game at its core is designed to be played with this camera angle, but it's really not such a bad issue. So don't blame your next loss in Silver 4 on the camera angle. Number 12. Leading the free-to-play genre. Back in 2009, there was not a lot of mainstream games going to free-to-play, but Riot decided to self-publish a game that was completely free-to-play. To this day, being a free game is a strong point when trying to bring new people to League of Legends. Nowadays, almost all big esports games have gone free-to-play, and I think we can all admit the fact that paying $60 for a skin feels better than buying an actual game. Number 13. The XPEKE. XPEKE is now known as the founder of one of the best teams in LCS, Origin. But back in his prime time, he was one of the best mid players in the world. Back in 2013, he managed to pull off an amazing backdoor against SK Gaming. Fnatic were about to lose the game with only 2 players alive to defend their own base, but he single-handedly won the game by destroying SK's Nexus. The video has managed to get over 10 million views, and the backdoor play will be forever remembered as the XPEKE. Number 14. ASHE is married to TRYNDAMERE. In the lore, TRYNDAMERE married ASHE to bring peace to their territories. But when the game was in early development, Mark Merrill named TRYNDAMERE and ASHE after him and his wife Ashley. When the League lore got rebooted, the design team married the two without knowing the story behind the name of the characters. This has to be the best love story in League. A special mention goes to the love story between Rumble and Tristana. He even named his mech Tristy. That's adorable. Number 15. The most hated champion in the game. For the longest time, we all used to hate TEEMO. Not the champion itself, but people who used to pick him. TEEMO was the definition of trolling and toxic behavior. But for the last few seasons, things kinda shifted. Statistically, the most banned champion in League of Legends is Yasuo. If you manage to pick him though, you will most likely be blamed for your team losing. Some people are even comparing Yasuo mains to a disease. Let's just hope it doesn't spread. Question. We know you play too much League. You just can't stop. Now tell us, what's your best play ever? Bonus fact. Kled's mount apparently is the most powerful being in all of League of Legends. Have you ever seen Skarl die? No, because it is not possible. Every time you think you can finally kill it, she runs away. This unkillable beast apparently is too stupid to realize how much power she has. She starts running every single time she thinks she's in danger.